Hi, this video is intended to show you how to surface crochet in my Land of My Heart shawl pattern, and where you make these yarn over hearts in knitting, but then we're actually going to turn it into these highlighted hearts using surface crochet. And you can make it completely reversible, and I'm going to show you how to do that too. So you need to block your shawl first so that the holes are opened up a little bit, because if you do this before blocking and then try to block it, you could make these, and these hearts could be a little too tight. So, okay, so after it's blocked, you can see there's the heart-shaped yarn over holes, and we're going to surface crochet around, okay, in these holes, and then flip it over and do the same thing through the other side, and that will make the hearts reversible. You need a hook that is larger than this fingering weight yarn, although it doesn't, this one is an H, but does not have to be an H. You're going to make loose stitches, so it's just a good idea not to have one that is too small. Okay, and you're gonna need about 4 feet worth of yarn, and you'll see why when we get about halfway through why it needs to be cut to a length. That will also be listed in the pattern. And while many crocheters, those who've already done surface crochet, may be familiar with this, I kind of wrote making this video for those of you who aren't. Just as if you're mostly a knitter and not really a crocheter, this will show you how to do it. Okay, so I need a little bit of a tail, all right? And let's see if I can zoom in. There we go. I'm gonna zoom in, okay? And I need to work right there, okay. So I'm going to find the hole that's at the tip, at the bottom tip. I put my hook in from the front to the back, and then bring up a loop. This is harder for me to do with the camera running because it's kind of in my way, but I'm going to try and do this on camera. And then I will put my hook through the next hole, and on the other side I'm wrapping it clockwise, okay? And then pulling up that loop through the hole and also through the loop that was on my hook, okay? And then I'm trying to make these loose. Please make them loose, like purposely loose, because if you don't, it will tighten up the whole heart, and you might want to have to try it again. Pull it out and try it again. Okay, so I'm going to put it through the next hole, wrap clockwise, and then, whoops, see, sometimes I lose it because I can't see it. But then pull that loop through, make it loose. Then go to the next one, wrap clockwise, pull it through loosely, go into the next stitch, pull it through loosely. Okay, you can see I'm trying not to pull this too tight. If you've pulled this too tight, maybe start over. And here, if you need to turn it, I find I need to turn it to keep going in the right direction. So put it through the next hole, wrap it clockwise, keep going, okay. I'm at the top of the heart. I'm wrapping it clockwise, and then don't forget this little point, the bottom of the heart, because it's kind of going down and then around, so make sure you get that so that it actually looks like a heart and not just like a triangle, okay. Make sure you get this loose, and then go into the next one. Go to the next one. Okay, you'll notice here I'm turning it just so that I can go in the same direction with my hook. Wrapping it, pulling it through the fabric, and also pull the loop on the hook. Keep going. Okay. And I'm going all the way back down to that point where I started. Okay. You'll notice, see, now I've got a heart. and I've pulled through that last hole where the point of the heart is. And here is where we're going to start so we can work on the other side. And this is where the yarn actually needed to be cut, because what I'm going to do, put my hole through the hole, my hook, sorry, through the hole again. And I'm going to take this big long, this is not the tail, but it's my working yarn, and wrap it, but I'm going to pull it through the hole, but not through this loop. And then I'm just trying to get it to the other side. I'm just going to pull it through here. Okay, so now I've got my working yarn on the other side, and I'm actually going to put this little loop and shove it through the other side by pulling from the other side here. I'm just trying to make them switch places. However you do it is fine. But now I've made switch places and I can flip it all over. I've got the loop on this side now and the working yarn on the other side. And what I'm going to do, trying to ignore my original tail, I'm going to do the same thing. This is actually in the same direction, so I'm going up this way because I started when I was working through the other side. I did this, then I came around, and now I'm switched sides, and I'm going to go through the outside of these holes. So I'm outlining my original surface crochet, and you'll see how it kind of like, it just makes a little of a thicker heart. And rather than go inside and outside and inside outside and have like it not look as neat, I'm going to make sure to trace the outside of this, but go into the same holes. But I'm going to do this. It's effectively the same thing. Okay, so I'm in the corner, and now I need to like, if you need to like poke your finger so that you can see where the next hole is, and then get to the outside of it, and then wrap it clockwise and pull it through, which I find I do this easier when I'm not on camera, of course. Whoop. See, I keep dropping it because I'm trying to do it on camera. There. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing into the next hole. Clockwise. And then pull it through loosely. Okay. Same thing. Whoops. Of course, I'm not on camera very well. Same thing. You see, I'm working on the outside of the blue heart that I made on the first side. And because these holes are bigger and I'm using my fingering weight yarn, I should have plenty of room. Just make sure you don't pull it tightly, that you're making the stitches loose. Ooh, did I get a double wrap? Yeah, I got a double wrap. There we go. Now, the hardest one may be the point of the heart. You might have to push that little, like, original blue outline you did kind of out of the way, but find that same hole. There we go. So I'm still working through the holes on the outside. You could do the inside too, but I just find like not inside and outside, but you could go on the inside if that worked better for you, but I just found like the outside worked better for me. I'm probably pulling just a little too tight here. Make those stitches loose, really looser than I am even. All right, so I got this last one here that I've gotten in that point again, pulling it through. And then now I've done the heart outlines, okay? So I might just pull my original tail through the last loop, okay? And so that there. Now, I've got tails on two sides. What I end up doing is usually pulling the tails all to one side and weaving them in all on one side. But of course you can do you could even have like you could have this be like a fringy kind of detail if you didn't want to weave in ends, but that wasn't what I was doing. At this point, I just maybe tied a knot. I know that's the worst thing. Some people don't like hearing that word. Or you can just weave it in. But now your little hearts are done and they're completely reversible, and the shawl itself will be completely reversible. And I'm almost done. I've only got one more to do. So Hope you like it. Hope that was something you could follow. Have fun.